Okay, so we had discussed that prior to the Age of Exploration, that Europeans had made contact in Asia and got that taste of the luxurious goods and spices that they started to desire. And we had discussed with the Crusades, 1100s to the 1400s. They saw, they began to be introduced to these spices that East Asia had to offer, and then Marco Polo's journey to China in 1270. So as we start to see Europeans seek new trade routes, the main reason why Europeans wanted to look to expand their trade routes was money. As the demand for these goods became greater than the supply, Europeans realized that merchants could start to charge extremely high prices for these goods that people were willing to pay, thereby increasing their profits. What made these merchants money, what made them rich? Spices and other goods from Asia, nutmeg, ginger, pepper, cinnamon, silk. These are all things that were in high demand in Europe at the start of the 1400s. The one problem for most Europeans is that the Muslims and the Italians, they controlled the trade routes. The Muslims would control the overland trade routes from Asia to the Mediterranean region, and then they would sell to the Italians. And so Europeans had to pay the Italians an inflated middleman price to get these goods that they desired. And so they therefore started to come up or to hatch schemes as to how they could circumvent or go around the Italians and the Muslims and find a direct route to Asia. Individuals were ready and ramped up for the spirit of adventure and a chance to increase their wealth and to have a chance at this glory. Harping on that whole idea from the Renaissance of individualism, which has happened at the same time that we're talking about the Age of Exploration. And European monarchs were also encouraging people to explore different lands and finding those overseas trade routes as a chance to increase their nation's wealth and power. The other reason why people started to explore is that they definitely had a desire to spread Christianity. The Crusades had left a very bitter taste or a sense of hostility between European Christians and Muslims, and there became a sense or a duty for Europeans to spread and to convert non-Christians to the faith of Christianity. If you remember, this type of mentality is going to influence people like Ignatius of Loyola, who established a Jesuit order, and so his desire, or the Jesuits' desire, to convert non-Christians was more specifically to convert non-Christians to Catholicism. So you do start to see here in the 1400s, and then later after the Reformation takes place, that there's a desire to combat or to push back the spread of Muslims and to convert non-Christians to Christianity. And in some cases, more specifically, we'll see the Spanish set up missionaries to convert the non-Christians to Catholicism, to combat the spread of to combat the spread of the Protestant faiths that were starting to take a foothold in Europe during this time.